At 72, Pierce Brosnan finally felt ready to speak with honesty and emotional clarity about his life, his career, and the quiet truths he carried about his friendship with the late Robin Williams, a bond forged during the making of Mrs. Doubtfire and remembered with deep affection and reverence. Born Pierce Brendan Brosnan on May 16, 1953, in the small Irish town of Navan, County Meath, his early life was shaped by abandonment and solitude, as his father left when he was an infant and his mother moved to London to train as a nurse, leaving young Pierce to be raised by relatives and later in a boarding house environment that demanded resilience and self-reliance long before adulthood. When he reunited with his mother in London at age 11, a new world unfolded before him, one filled with art, cinema, and imagination, and a single moment, watching a fire-eater perform at a circus, sparked a fascination with performance that would quietly define his destiny. Shy yet observant, Brosnan trained at Drama Centre London, where his natural charisma, emotional intelligence, and classical discipline quickly set him apart, leading to early recognition in the 1980s with Remington Steele, a role that established him as a modern gentleman hero long before James Bond entered his life. His ascent to global superstardom came in 1995 with GoldenEye, where he became the fifth actor to portray 007, blending sophistication, lethal confidence, and emotional vulnerability in a way that re-energized the franchise and defined Bond for a new generation through films like Tomorrow Never Dies, The World Is Not Enough, and Die Another Day. Beyond Bond, Brosnan consistently defied expectations, embracing dramatic depth in The Matador, romantic elegance in The Thomas Crown Affair, musical joy in Mamma Mia, and later career versatility in projects such as The Misfits, False Positive, Black Adam as Dr. Fate, The Outlaws, Fast Charlie, and The Thursday Murder Club, proving that reinvention, not nostalgia, fueled his longevity. Yet his personal life carried far greater weight than any role, especially his marriage to actress Cassandra Harris, whom he wed in 1980 and whose love anchored him during his formative years. He adopted her 2 children as his own, shared a deep creative and emotional partnership with her, and stood beside her with unwavering devotion through her long battle with ovarian cancer until her death in 1991. A loss that shattered him and permanently reshaped his understanding of love, mortality, and compassion. A decade later, he found renewed hope and stability with journalist and activist Keely Shea Smith, whose warmth and grounded spirit helped him rebuild a life centered on family, purpose, and gratitude, and together they raised 2 sons while forging a marriage admired for its authenticity and tenderness. It was from this place of reflection and maturity that Brosnan finally spoke openly about Robin Williams, recalling their time together on Mrs. Doubtfire not simply as a professional collaboration but as a profound human experience. He described Williams as pure lightning, a once-in-a-generation force whose improvisational brilliance was matched only by his humility, generosity, and emotional depth, someone who could transform a room with laughter and then fall into moments of quiet gentleness that hinted at an inner ache. Brosnan remembered how Williams treated everyone on set with equal kindness, from child actors to crew members, how he brought vulnerability to comedy, and how laughter, for Robin, was not performance but healing. When Williams passed away in 2014, Brosnan felt an almost physical shock, as though a light had gone out in the world, struggling to reconcile how someone who gave so much joy could carry such unseen pain. Looking back, he speaks not with speculation but with respect, acknowledging that Williams gave more of himself than most people ever could, and that his legacy lives not only in iconic performances but in the humanity he shared so freely. At 72, Pierce Brosnan reflects with gratitude, heartbreak, and clarity, honoring Robin Williams not just as a genius, but as one of the finest men he ever knew, believing deeply that the world was immeasurably better because Robin Williams lived, laughed, and loved as fiercely as he did.